G'day guys, welcome back to Fading Margins. This is a full-length Victorinox Swiss Army knife Extravaganza, okay? Big shout out and thanks to all those people who have recently subscribed. Welcome to you all. I hope you enjoy the content. Can't imagine why you subscribe, but there we are. I won't discourage you. What was I going to say? Yeah, one of you asked, what am I rocking? I think was the expression in terms of my Swiss Army knives. Well, it's been, to use a Hackney expression, an interesting journey. As you know, I carry a traditional, that is a traditional pocket knife, almost invariably an otter, always UK legal, although that is a bit wearing sometimes. And I usually carry a Swiss Army knife on my belt in a pouch. Things have changed a little bit. We've been trying out different combinations. Normally I would carry my Swiss Champ. This is in black Roller Munzel tribute scales, as I call them. Must have had this now for going on 20 years, maybe more. The new ones don't have the, I don't think they have the plastic magnifying glass anymore. I love this thing. This used to travel in the glove box of my car for years and years and years. Used to go to France every year. It went back to Victorinox to have the corkscrew fix, because if you go to France every year on holidays with small kids, you will drink enough wine to wear the liner out on it, and it will need replacing. So, and this is what I carry. And now, from time to time, I get tired. Right, there's nothing wrong with me. I just get tired of having that much weight hanging off my belt. Right, and some of you have offered me sage advice. Some of you who are 6'4" and said, "Oh well, you need to man up, or you need to carry it for longer to get, sort of tool fit or whatever." That's fine. Sometimes I just need to change it out. So that is usually my part and parcel. And when I'm not carrying that, I usually run a Ranger, because I know everybody out there is a huge fan of the Huntsman, as am I, or the Field Master. For me, I take a Huntsman because I like the corkscrew, not because I like to drink, although I do like to drink, because I think the corkscrew is more useful in that context than a starhead screwdriver when it's set at 90 degrees to the knife. Now, if you're screwing, I've said before, if you're screwing in panels or something fairly shallow, fine, Jim Dandy, fantastic. Like the other day, I was changing the snorkel on the air filter cover of one of my motorbikes, and excuse me, big cooked breakfast in a little bed and breakfast. I just got back, and I shouldn't tell you that, should I? I was actually out on the mountain in a blizzard. And I had to eat raw elk. That's what I should be telling you, but never mind. Where was I? Oh yeah. And this would have been fine because there was nothing in the way. But if you actually have to delve around into something, if you've got a little spot where you've got to screw something up where it's come loose, and inevitably when something comes loose, it's always where you can't reach it. Having a starhead screwdriver in that position is not helpful. So I like the corkscrew. It's kind of more traditional. I'm very old-fashioned. Positively reactionary, and so I like the Ranger also because it has a file, and I spent I don't know, 25 plus years biting my nails, and I like to have a file because when they annoy me, then I can just knock that bit that's annoying me off, and you don't get that gotta have it off sort of thing. So. And also it's useful for other things, notching and that sort of thing. And I've actually taken burrs off axes with this, even though people tell you can't do it. Well, I've done it, so there it is. I'm going to come back to that one in a minute because I've got more news about that. Now, where was I? So, what have I been carrying if I haven't been carrying that? Well, what I have been carrying is my other Ranger. All right, so this is very stock standard. I haven't, to use that expression, pimped the scales. I haven't done anything to it. I haven't taken off the camping logo. I've just opened it up out of the packet, out of the box it came in, smartened up the edge and put it in my belt. All right. So why have I done that? Well, I'll come back to that again in a minute. Recently, I went through a phase where I just, for a couple of days, right, I just stopped carrying anything at all. I still carried my mobile phone, of course, in case it was an emergency. So I could ring somebody who had a pocket knife to come and help me. But I didn't carry anything at all. And then when I went back, I stopped carrying a traditional. Now, my mate Jack, who is, he's a knife brother, you know what I mean? And an all-round good guy. He put me onto these little fellas. Now I thought, come on. I mean, Jack's a big lad, and he never leaves home. If he's upright in his trousers, he will have one of these on him, right? Along with some gorgeous piece of cutlery that he can carry because he lives in the land of the free and the home of the brave, right? So I bought one of these. This is the Manager. Now they don't, for some reason, they don't make these anymore. They make the Midnight Manager, which has got a torch in it. But I don't want a torch, and if I want a torch, I want a proper torch, right? It has a little pen, which I've used. Tickled people silly. They say, "Oh, have you got a pen?" And I pull this out, and they go, "Oh, look at that." Right? And it's got a small file and a screwdriver and small scissors, right? And you'd be amazed what you can do with that scissors. Small knife. I've used that for opening boxes and all licorice, all sorts. Not boxes of licorice, all sorts. And that works really, really well. And it's got this sort of multi-tool arrangement, which with a cap lifter. The cap lifter does work, although the first time I used it, I thought, my God, I'm just going to snap this thing out of its socket, but it didn't. And the screwdriver is very good. So it's got all those tools and a tweezers, and you'd be amazed. Now my wife's got a little one of these. It's not I don't know which model it is, and I've seen her get into the blue cheese in a picnic in a aire de repose on the Péage in France with one of these, and it's a frightening sight. But you'd be amazed how much you get away with just carrying that. And I've been rocking that, and carrying a traditional pocket knife, so loaded up one in each hip pocket, and that's been fun. And that travels. I will have one on the belt, one in the pocket, and I'll throw this in my jacket or something. It just because it doesn't weigh anything. But like I said, come on, Victorinox, bring back the Manager. I think the Rambler is the same, but doesn't have the pen, and you can buy the scales, I think. I don't know. But I had two of them. I bought two. But I gave one to a wife of a mate of mine, and she hasn't quite kicked him out completely. But she does love this thing. I think she carries it everywhere. She's a lady who appreciates a good cutting tool. Right, so when if I'm not carrying any of those, what am I carrying? Well, I've been carrying, to my own surprise, the Spartan. No scissors, which I think is perhaps, for me, is almost the defining feature of a Swiss Army knife, because it's the most useful tool I don't have, or I can't improvise. And I don't need to show you a Spartan. But I've been carrying the Spartan in one pocket and a traditional in the other pocket, or carrying the Spartan in my right pocket as the traditional, and carrying the little Rambler in the other pocket. So it's not the Rambler, it's the Manager. And all sorts of variations on a theme. And I haven't found myself wanting. Now, of course, if you're running these two, you've got a little scissors, so you're out of the woods, and you can use the big blade for whatever it is you'd normally use a big blade for. So I was enjoying that. I mean, I tend not to use a Swiss Army knife for food, and it's mostly aesthetic. It's mostly to do with pictures of old men in flat caps peeling an onion, right? And that sort of thing. It's an aesthetic thing more than anything else, because the knife is a knife almost. It's as sharp as anything else. It's sometimes sharper. With the bigger ones, of course, do you really want to fill these up with blue cheese? Blue cheese and bits of God knows whatever it is you happen to be eating at the time. delicately cooked octopus tentacles or something remains in your joints. There's just a lot of joints in them, and I don't like it. But with a Spartan, you can certainly get away with that. So I've been enjoying the Spartan. Can't remember what they call this. This is the Alox single blade. I ran this for a little while. I like the idea of it. I like the idea of the Alox. Victorinox is a lot, but they are heavier for what you get. They're a lot heavier. They're slightly more robustly made, I guess, in terms of the steel thickness. The stock is a bit heavier. But I miss the scale tools. I just do. There's where is it? Is this the one I think it is? Yeah. So in the Spartan, for example, there's just so much more functionality in the Spartan than you'd get in an Alox for the same weight and that sort of thing. I'm not running them down. I just don't get on with them. I've bought most of them. I've given quite a few of them away to friends. I think they're a fantastic tool, but I just prefer the is it Celador they call it? I prefer that size. So what have I got left here on the table? I usually carry, if I go walking, and I haven't been walking, guys, I don't know why, just slack. Need to get on my hind legs and get out there on the hill. I've promised you a video on the hill and it still hasn't arrived. The Huntsman will go in the right hand belt pocket of my Osprey Talon 33, where I can reach it so it doesn't sit in my pocket, not because it's too big, but because my walking shorts are lightweight, and so it sort of drags a little bit, so it can sit there, and I'm happy as a daisy. My urban EDC for traveling is always the climber, because you never know when you're in a hotel room and you need to cut your mate free from his rope. No, I'm just kidding. No, but I don't know why because it's called a climber, and there's that book, and then the film, Touching the Void. So I always associate this with cutting a rope. I don't know why, but it's not really funny because the man went through absolute hell. If you haven't seen that documentary, it's brilliant. It's absolutely fantastically shot documentary, well worth watching. You get a real insight into the sort of mindset of these people. I got a lot of admiration, but I couldn't do it myself. I think I'd have just died somewhere, but never mind. But I carry this because it is the sweet spot. It has all the tools of the Spartan plus a scissors. It has pimped scales, so it has a pen, it has a tweezers, and in my case it has a small ferrocerium rod. Though why you need a small ferrocerium rod in a non-zombie urban environment, triple weight, I don't know, but that's what's in it at the moment. I love this thing, so if I'm going to London, say, or somewhere where people are particularly paranoid about knife carry, not that I'm expecting to be searched anytime soon, this is what I'll have in my pocket, and it replaces everything else you see. And that's about it. Now, you can help me out. It's like I don't know what you call it. I'm not going to name it, but anyway, I can't remember what this is. All right, it's gone completely out of my head. It's the one with the fancy multi-tool, and and as you can see, it already comes with the fancy scales, the multi extra scales, and it has the scissors and everything else. I've carried this a few times recently, and I like it. It's a nice size. It's a really nice size because it's actually no bigger than the Spartan. In fact, I think it's about the same weight. But they've trimmed it down by removing the small blade, which wouldn't have been my choice, and they've removed the can opener and the bottle opener and replaced it with this multi-tool. Now, my only beef with it, I suspect that the multi-tool fitting would work fine. All right, it would work fine. It would, you're not going to use it on a small star here, Phillips screw, I guess. But everything else, it'll work fine. It'll do everything the others will do, and it'll open a tin, and it'll act as a screwdriver, and it'll crack your bottle of pop or beer or whatever it is you're drinking. It's got a corkscrew. It's got the, can you believe this? It's got the parcel hook. And why they choose the parcel hook, I don't know, but they did. And on the back of that is a little nail file. Not really convinced. Okay. If they'd left the small blade on, I think you'd have been on an absolute winner with this, for me, right? Super lightweight, lots of functionality, but they didn't. So I tend not to carry it, but I have been rocking it. So that's what I've been rocking, Victorinox wise, for since the last time we spoke. It's quite a plethora, and they become, when you get sort of like, you just need something in your pocket, they start to dominate and they start to proliferate in your pocket. It's like, I've gone to work and I'll have one in my tank bag for my motorbike, one in each pocket, and suddenly you think, why am I carrying 3 or 4 Victorinoxes? And then you think, well, why have I got 3 Victorinoxes on me and 2 traditional in my tank bag? And it's because you're changing your trousers, out of your work trousers into your motorbike trousers, that sort of thing. When you get home, you don't take these knives out, and you just end up with all these UK legal pocket knives in your pocket. Anyway, I'll stop rambling. That's me. I've plugged that in. I was a bit worried about that. Anyway, till the next time, I wish you all health and happiness, every blessing, and I'll catch you on the next one. God bless. Bye-bye.